What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and it's Halloween. That's why in this video I'll be making Fakemon for it. This is gonna have two parts, so make sure to stick around for part 2. It's probably it's probably gonna come next week, alright? If I'm not too lazy. If you wanna check out my other Fakemon videos, I'll link the playlist in the description below. Now without further ado, let's get started. The first time I'll be doing for this video is gonna be a remake of one of my favorite ghost lines from old Earthcore, the Earthcorian Gardevoir line. It was based on the White Lady, which is a type of female ghost with long straight hair dressed in a white dress or similar garment. Now, most countries have White Ladies, but I'm talking about the one in the Philippines for this one. Let's start this video off with Earthcorian Ralts. Back when I made these, I was using Krita to make Fakemon, and I wasn't very good at drawing digitally. As a consequence, most of my Fakemons are really simple and or ugly. Now, Ralts is one of my older Fakemons. I made it on my iPad even before I started using Krita, so my control with the line art was a bit better, but it still sucked. For this remake, I wanted to sort of revamp it since I already liked how it looked. The only things I changed about were fairly minor, and they were just to make the Earthcorian Gardevoir line look different from the original line, since my old Fakemon Gardevoir line just looked like a recolored version of the original. I gave Ralts longer hair, a more detailed horn resembling a bloody knife, and a ghostly thingy at Ralts' back end. My main goal for this was to just do the old Earthcorian Ralts but in my new style, so I'm happy with the finished product. Earthcorian Ralts, the Ghost Child Pokemon. It's a ghost type with the ability Death Song and the hidden ability Unnerve. Now, Death Song is a new ability, and what it does is that it lowers a random stat of the opposing Pokemon when Ralts dies. Earthcorian Ralts come from Ralts who were mistreated by their trainers and died as a result. Bloodthirsty and more evil than their counterparts, the horn on the head serves as a reminder to never forget their pain. Be careful not to lift up their hair, since if you see their red eyes, you will fall sick with a terrible illness. Now it's time for Earthcorian Kirlia. It's based on the White Lady as well, and yeah, that's all really. For this one, I wanted to do the same as Ralts, which is just to make it an updated version of the old Earthcorian Kirlia. The only things I changed about it were its vibe, dress, and a few more minor stuff. Old Earthcorian Kirlia's vibe was kind of naughty and stuff, like a mischievous fairy. This new one's vibe would be regal and sad, sort of like a dancer. For its dress, instead of making it almost exactly like normal Kirlia's dress but more tattered, I made it more ghostly and long. After that, I just basically made its horns look like blades dripping down its head with blood. Overall, I think I succeeded in how I was trying to portray Earthcorian Kirlia. The old one was pretty angry and devilish, but this new line would just be sad and mournful. Anyways, here's the finished product. Really happy with it, hope you like it. Here is Earthcorian Kirlia, the Ghost Child Pokemon. It's still a ghost type, and it has the ability Death Song and the hidden ability Resurrector. Now, what Resurrector does is that when Earthcorian Kirlia is on the field for the first time, there's a small chance it'll be able to resurrect a team member with 1% of its HP. Gaining the ability to summon spirits, Earthcorian Kirlia's power has grown exponentially. Despite this, it can't control its spirits very well, so it usually tries not to summon them except when its trainer is in danger. When in trouble, Earthcorian Kirlia will flash its paralyzing red eyes at the offender and run away. Let's proceed to the final Fakemon of the Earthcorian Gardevoir line, Earthcorian Gardevoir herself. And make sure to watch this whole part, cause this one is absolutely insane. It's based on the White Lady, zombies, and ghost queens. Alright, so Earthcorian Gardevoir. Where do I start? Let's start off with the design. I wanted this to be really different from the old Earthcorian Gardevoir to really showcase how much I've improved. To be honest, I feel like I do that with all my remakes. I really ham it up just so when I compare my old and new works, I can really say, yep, I've improved. Oh yeah, I also wanted to make it very different from the old Gardevoir because the old one was literally just a recolored Gardevoir with shaky lines. For this new one, instead of going for a scary vibe, I wanted to go with a sad, melancholic, apathetic vibe, like one of those goth girls. I made it look like a grieving widow and gave its torso colors of flesh and blood. For the finishing touches, I added ghostly candles floating around it, made its head hair look like a black veil, and made it look like a grieving woman, which is sometimes what White Ladies are, so that works too. Earthcorian Gardevoir, the Soul Queen Pokemon. It's a ghost type with the ability Death Song and the hidden ability Resurrector. It uses the ghostly candles floating around it to attract spirits and suck out their life force. After, nothing remains of the spirit except a lifeless husk, ready to do Earthcorian Gardevoir's every bidding. Spirits controlled by it are trapped in the cursed blade embedded in its chest. If touched, she'll be cursed for a long time. Now, this is probably one of the most fleshed out Fakemon I've made, literally and figuratively. It has a special relationship with Earthcorian Gastly, and that's gonna be coming out in part 2. I'm insanely proud of Gardevoir. Let's move on to the second line of this video. The second line for this video is based on the manananggal, a female torso separated from the rest of its body. The manananggal flies around on bat wings at night and eats unborn children using its long tongue. At sunrise, the upper body returns to the rest of its body, and it resumes its daily business as a normal woman. I'm planning for this manananggal mon to be regional Woobat line, so yeah, let's start off with Earthcorian Woobat. Earthcorian Woobat is based on the manananggal, ground bats, and dirty animals that stay close to the ground. To be honest, I think the Earthcorian Woobat line was one of my smart ideas. I wanted Woobat to be sort of like a dirty, sad Pokemon lurking in the ground longing to fly. It wouldn't be able to fly though because of its underdeveloped wings, so it would only be able to stare into the sky and wish to fly. I tried to make this design as muddy and scruffy as possible to really emphasize that this thing is to be pitied. Now, this line would be a dark type line, so I gave it a skull nose to show that. In my opinion, dark types shouldn't be too menacing, they should feel more naughty, so I made sure to make it look kinda derpy. The biggest change I added to it were 2 legs muddy with dirt. I made its wings thin to show it couldn't fly, added a tongue, and added a bone on top of its head. This will be important in the next Pokemon. Earthcorian Woobat, the grounded Pokemon. It's a ground poison type with the ability Moxie and the hidden ability Scrappy. Scruffier and scrappier than their counterparts, Earthcorian Woobats are treated as pests in Earthcore. Their long stinky fur makes it difficult to train them. They long to fly but can't due to their underdeveloped wings. Instead, they use the legs to move around. They take great care of the bone jutting out from their forehead. Alright, time for Woobat's Evo, Taboobat. Taboobat is based on the flying top body of the manananggal, bats, and vampires. While Earthcorian Woobat was a dirty ground dweller, Taboobat is a free sky dweller, soaring through the night. It likes to pick living things up, fly high, and drop them. No one knows whether it does this to scare people or for some other reason, since it does the same thing with Earthcorian Woobat. Using its intestine-like tendrils to wrap around Woobat's bone, it forms a humanoid shape complete with legs and arms. Now, this is really good for both Taboobat and Woobat, since one of them gets to fly and one gets extra battle support. So basically they both enjoy it. Most Taboobats have a specific Woobat that they'll form a buddy with, like a partner. Now, in terms of Taboobats lifting people and Pokemon up and dropping them, it could be because Taboobat is just trying to see if other partners could work, since it might not understand that it's not nice to just randomly pick something or someone up, fly high, and drop them. Taboobat, the winged Pokemon. Its name comes from taboo and bat, and it's a dark flying type with the ability Moxie and the hidden ability Scrappy. It wraps its fleshy tendrils around Earthcorian Woobat's body to make a sort of full body. When in this form, Taboobat and Woobat become so connected that it seems like they can read each other's mind. Taboobat enjoys grabbing small children or Pokemon, flying high, dropping them, and catching them at the last second. Now, this Halloween video wouldn't be complete without one blood type mon, so for the last line of this video, I'm gonna be remaking one of my region's most iconic blood type lines, the Earthcorian Gengar line. The old line was based off horror movie clowns, but I'm gonna add a bit more themes this time, so yeah, let's get started. Earthcorian Gastly is based on clowns, juggling, and those bouncy balls that are really fun to play with. When making Earthcorian Gastly, I wanted to keep it the same as the original and just make its style more recent and flesh it out a bit more. I decided to add the rubber ball juggling themes to it since those made people happy, like Gastly. It also fit Gastly a lot since Gastly was a ball and it foreshadowed what its final evolution would do. For its design, I changed literally nothing about it except for the color of its gas and the thing under its eyes. I didn't want to change anything. I actually just had to change the gas and the eye things because the gas looked really bad when placed on my background, so I had to change it to blue. And I changed the blue thing under its eyes to red since blue would look pretty bad. Earthcorian Gastly, the clown Pokemon. It's a dark fairy type with the ability Bounce Back and the hidden ability Ball Fetch. Now, this guy is a dark fairy type because he's just a small naughty mischievous guy, not dangerous at all. Its evolution gets a bit more dangerous though. Bounce Back is also a new ability, and what it does is that every time Earthcorian Gastly takes damage, it reflects some of the damage back onto its opponent. It loves to be thrown around so much that it volunteers to be juggled in juggling acts. If it falls, its rubber-like body ensures that it doesn't get damaged. This rarely happens though since it can change its way to whatever it wants. The blue gas it emits acts like a laughing gas, ensuring that anybody who watches its juggling act leaves happy. Let's move on to Earthcorian Haunter. Not gonna lie, so the old Earthcorian Haunter looked pretty dumb. It had a pretty weird face and it didn't look like a Pokemon. So for the changes, I just made it overall more Pokemon-y and updated its style. I changed its face to look more like a Pokemon, to look more like a clown, and to look more like Haunter. Instead of putting the laughing gas it had on its face, or head actually, I made it juggle the laughing gas. It would be able to throw the gas at people, and the juggling overall just made it more clown-like. I gave it a new pose that I really liked since it resembled laughing crazily and juggling at the same time, and changed its ear things to orange hair to resemble Pennywise. Earthcorian Haunter, the clown Pokemon. It's a dark ghost type with the ability Bounce Back and hidden ability Wonder Skin. It likes creating gas to juggle around. In battle, it throws this potent gas at opponents, making them laugh uncontrollably. It then takes this chance to lick its opponent and drain them of all their energy. It throws its gas at people even when not battling. Despite this, Earthcorian Haunter isn't too dangerous and is safe to be around. The gas it makes can be made into an anesthetic gas. Now, while Haunter is just a troublemaker, it's not like crazy dangerous. No, definitely not. That title is given to its evolution, Earthcorian Gengar. They're based on clowns and murderers. If you see an Earthcorian Gengar, get away quickly and quietly. This sadistic creature hunts by bouncing around and slowly biting off bits of its prey. They have been known to sometimes prolong the death of their prey by letting them run away for a short while, then catching them again. They can shoot a very strong laughing gas which causes prey to be incapacitated with laughter while being eaten alive. These creatures have only appeared in Earthcore recently, but legend suggests that they've existed here for centuries, mainly hiding. Despite their bloodthirstiness, there have been relatively little deaths related to their attacks, since in most cases an experienced trainer is present at the scene to repel Gengar. Earthcorian Gengar, the murder clown Pokemon. It's a blood ghost type and it has the secondary type Dark. Its ability is Bounce Back and its hidden ability is Intimidate. It fights using a special technique that makes use of its rubber-like body. The technique involves bouncing around and biting its opponent as it passes by. There are multiple cases of people and Pokemon's appendages being ripped off because of this. After a fight, it'll use its victim's blood to paint its face. It shoots a dangerous laughing gas from its mouth. Alright guys, that's all for this video, and oh my god, this is crazy. From zombie ghost queens to manananggal vampires and murder clowns, this was, yeah, pretty insane. Anyways though, I really liked the art in this video and I hope you did too. Remember to like, subscribe, join my Discord server, and tell me what you think about these guys in the comments. Watch out for next week, cause part 2 of this Halloween thing is probably coming out then, and thanks for watching.